Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you happen to be watching / listening to the second episode of the podcast with DeeJam and Friends. Thank you very much for coming back. If you missed episode 1, where I was talking to keepers about the Scottish football and Scottish League, etc., go back and listen to that. But I've upped the ante this week. We had the biggest team in Scotland this week. You could arguably say we've got the biggest team in England to talk about. We're talking about Manchester United, Mourinho, Rooney, Zlatan, the whole shebang. And there's only one person that I wanted to get on this podcast to talk about Manchester United, and that is footygamer. Mate, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. Very good. Great to be here, and thanks for having me.
No worries, no worries. As I said, there was only one person I wanted to talk Manchester United with, because if anybody doesn't follow this guy on Twitter, just going through some of your timeline, even over the last couple of weeks, some of your opinions about Manchester United at the moment are just brilliant. And I wanted just to have a bit of a chat about how things are going at Manchester United. But before we get into that, just for those of you who don't know much about yourself and your channel and what kind of stuff you do on YouTube, etc., just give us a bit of an introduction as to who you are. Yeah,
well, basically, obviously, I do Football Manager, as you probably guessed. I've got 2 series on the go right now, which is one with Arsenal, and one that started recently, the last few days, with Inter. So if you want to catch up on that Inter series, good time to do it now, because it's quite new, and it's by daily upload. So one day is Arsenal, one day is Inter. And it's daily uploads on FM. You can leave comments. I'm very interactive. You know, if you say, look at this player, I'll look at that player. Not necessarily going to sign that player, but I do look at them, and you know, I do streams 4 days a week. I've got a schedule on Twitch, but it's obviously very volatile due to external reasons. But Twitter is the best place to look out for me for that, because I do say, okay, tomorrow's stream is going to be today, or next stream tomorrow is going to be another day, because obviously we have a reason. So yeah, it's finally a channel that I've got, which is now settled on FM. It's been a channel. It's had a few different names, but now it's settled on FM. I've got into a good groove. I feel like some of the new videos coming out I've done recently are really, really good. It's basically when I first started FM. It was basically the game, the one live com and me talking. That was it. It's a lot more involved now. There's new. I'm not going to spoil it. There's new stuff coming into this series. I'm really excited about it. It looks more involved, more in depth, and I think it's really good. So yeah, check me out. And for FM18. I have no clue what I'm going to do. So I'll have to wait and see. It could be Man United. It could be, I had an idea the other day of doing like maybe just starting off with no reputation, getting a job and seeing where I go on the save and see what jobs I can get in the course of FM18. We'll see. But that's for me to worry about, not you.
Yes, no, I'm exactly the same with my FM18. I'm not really sure what sort of direction I'm going to go. But you briefly touched upon your stream where you do chat quite a lot about Manchester United on there, but I thought rather than having all of the distractions of having to host and having to play the game whilst chatting about Manchester United and other subjects, etc., I thought I'd get you in here and have a bit of a one-on-one chat. Because I mean, how long have you been supporting Man United for? How long have you been a fan?
I've been supporting them since '98. I started supporting them the back end of the season when Arsenal did double over United before the treble. So it's been a long, long time. I'd say that's when I started supporting them fully. I've probably been liking them long before that, but obviously very young. It's hard to pinpoint the exact day when I actually started watching them. But yeah, since '98, I've been a United fan, and I was also a season ticket holder for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
First year they won the league. Next year, League and Champions League. So, you know, United, you listen to this, seem to get for free. We win things when I go.
Good luck,
I've been to like 8 or 9 games this season as well, and there's not a single game either. So it's been a very good season for me going to games.
So you still get to go to games on a frequent basis?
Me and mates try and go at least once a month to see them.
Right. Good. So you're not one of those... How can I put this delicately? You're not one of those armchair fans.
No. I try and go. I buy every single show that comes out. I buy a membership for years. Yeah. I go to at least 5 games a year, but it's like 8 or 9. We've been to every single Europa League game, particularly this is because they're the games we can get tickets for easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do. We've been to a lot of games. We try and go once a month, at least once a month, if not more. But once a month's like just the easy way to do it.
So how have you found the atmosphere at Old Trafford this season? Because I mean, I've only ever been to Old Trafford once. This was many years ago. This is when Paul Lambert was manager of Norwich, first year up in the Premier League. And I don't know whether or not it's just because we sang constantly the whole game, but it didn't really pick up until United got their first goal. But what's the atmosphere been like so far this season? How have fans been reacting to league? There's been indifference at home forms, especially with the amount of draws that you've been getting in Europa League football. What's the general atmosphere and feel like being around Old Trafford?
Yeah, I mean, obviously in general, the problem I've always said about United's criticism is that the fans are very quiet. And the issue I always say is, well, if you go to the ground and you're an away fan, you won't see this. But if you sit in the home ends, it's not just simply, no disrespect to smaller teams. All those teams are fans from local areas of Britain. United get fans from everywhere. So we have people coming from China, Brazil, you name it, they come from here. Yeah. So they're not that kind of fan. So that is part of the issue. You sit in the Stretford end, it's noisy as hell. You sit in the singing end, noisy. When United score, obviously it goes up. But generally, it's because part of the issue is because a lot of fans are coming from different countries, and that's the big issue. Because obviously, it's not 75,000 Manchester fans. It's 75,000 Manchester United fans. So that doesn't help. Yeah. But I think the atmosphere it's still good. European nights especially are very good. This season it's been... When I go to the game, I do look around the ground a lot, and I look and see what the fans... And the fans seem to be... If you look at it for the one season on its own, then we're not happy. No. But they're seeing the bigger picture, a lot of United fans, and the atmosphere this season is one of let's get behind the team and let's just the negative things that are going on, which we'll probably get onto later on. Yeah. We can cope with that. But the atmosphere has been generally good. But there's still a lot of United fans very frustrated of seeing certain players still in the team which they don't feel should be there. Yeah. And there's quite a few when I've had debates with friends in the ground saying, look, this so-and-so is good. And the frustration is that, it's mainly frustration because the team plays better football than last season. They attack more shots on goal, but there's frustration that we're just not killing teams off. And it's more of a frustration. Like, it's okay, but we should be doing a lot better. So a very frustrated crowd is the atmosphere, I would say. Yeah. But also the fact of, let's get behind the team. Let's not be too negative. But then, of course, that could all change if it continues much longer.
Yeah, I think that is it. But, I mean, I know I've had a bit of a slight dig at the Man United fans in terms of the home atmosphere. But away fans...
away fans.
Your away fans are by far the best I've seen. And I'm not just saying that because you're on the show, but they are phenomenal. Yeah,
it's like... last night or the other night against Southampton, there was United fans the other night. They are basically the Stretford End fans, essentially. Right. They're essentially the Stretford End fans. I would guess, I don't know 100%, but the most noise comes from Stretford End, and they are amazing. The away fans. I remember when we were playing. Who was it? I can't remember. It was someone away, and we were getting absolutely battered, and all you could hear was United fans cheering. Yeah. I think it was Liverpool actually. Away and 1 year, and they were beating us, and all I could hear was United fans. Yeah. Couldn't hear a local fan. And they are incredible. It's some of the videos you see on YouTube with the away United fans. They're complete nutters, but they are amazing. The noise they make is no matter how many of them there are, you bloody hear them.
yeah, that's it. And I suppose that's what you truly want from away fans. It's not just about the numbers.
And also there's also an element of that they're away from home. They've got to try and make extra noise to get behind the team. So there's also they have to up it a bit more, don't they? Obviously away from home. Yeah. So there's a bit of that as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you briefly touched upon sort of like the general feel about certain players who don't deserve to be in a United shirt. And I suppose, is that kind of one of the things where fans are thinking, well, this is Mourinho's first season. He's still got a lot to change about this team because it was it didn't feel like a proper team when Van Gaal was in charge, did it?
No.
And he's had one or two transfer windows. Is this now the point for a lot of United fans? Because it's one of those things where Man United, Real Madrid, Barcelona, you don't get very long to sort the problem out. I mean, obviously Fergie was there for a long time, and that's fair enough because he did an amazing job. But you're in that sort of 1-2 season max. If you can't sort this, you're out the door type of job just because of the size of the club. Is that where you see it? He's got one more season to try and buy the type of players that he wants, sell the other types of players, and then judge him truly next year. Is that where you see yourself at, or are you more of a, more relaxed? Is what I'm trying to say.
I think is it's United. I've got a decision to make. I think in the next couple of years, because if you keep sacking your manager, it can work at Madrid because they're in a lesser league, and the players they've got, for Christ's sake, win league, league and still get sacked. United have got to make a decision now whether it's good. Right, are we going to say has he got top four? Has he got to get the trophy, or are we going to do give him a couple more years to build? Because for me, United fans, there's two types of United fans right now. There's the old style United fans who think because we're Manchester United, we have a right to be top at the table and winning things.
Yeah.
And there's the new United fans who say, well, we've lost the best manager in the world who achieved great things with, he beat Arsenal 8-1 with a side that wasn't really that great.
No, they weren't.
And he made players a lot better than they are. Yeah. He made Valencia, Jones, Smalling, people like that look like gods. Which they're good players, but they're not amazing quality. They have good games. I think Mourinho. Nick, this year it's a free pass this year because we know the lot squad is not good enough. Next year he'll get more focus. For me personally, I want him to stay long term. I think long term he'll get us back to where we want to be. But I think also the football environment has changed now, where you're not going to see. You're going to see one team one year win the league, next year struggle getting top four because it's so more competitive than it was a few years ago. Remember years ago, you get the top four. It was Arsenal, United, Liverpool, and that was it. Chelsea, they were top four, never broke. Now you're seeing a bit more volatility in that. So I think United, Mourinho is. You look at the players he's brought in, and everyone's done well. Pogba would be debate about that. You can debate Pogba all day long, but I think for me personally, I'm more relaxed about it. I'm not happy with where we are on the table, but I can see what he's trying to do. I can see there's certain players not good enough. And I would say next season if he gets in top four, I think they'll sack him.
Really?
That's my opinion. I think they would do that unless he won Champions League or Europa League again or something like that. Yeah. But I don't want United to be doing that. I want to say give him 2 years, and then the third year if it goes completely tits up, then okay. But you've had 2 years now to get back in top four and China hasn't done it. Then I think you can then you can legitimately say, okay, this is an issue now.
Yeah.
But I personally think he'll get it right. But if United don't get top four next season and don't get Champions League football next season, I won't be surprised if he left. I don't want him to, but I won't be surprised.
Because I think obviously from an outside looking in, it's one of those things where he's won the Community Shield, he's won the League Cup.
Yeah.
He's only 90 minutes away from winning the Europa League. Obviously, at the point of recording this, the game hasn't happened. If he wins that Europa League, he gets into the Champions League, and he's won 3 trophies, although some would argue the Community Shield is not a trophy.
It's two really.
So he's won 2 trophies in his first season, and yet there's still this pressure around him that he's not doing well in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
do you think it's fan led or is it media?
Media.
Yeah,
I think he speaks to most United fans. They will say, if you look at the last 2-3 weeks, he's been poor in the league, but he's basically chipped the league away.
Yeah.
So I think Sky Sports said it on the Southampton game, and it really annoyed me because Sky Sports, I hate Sky Sports anyway. I think they're very poor in terms of they're very very reactive. There's the same things for the effect of the moment a lot. And they basically, I think it was Redknapp or Stuart Woodham said it. It says, you look at United's season, and then he based his argument on the last 2 games against Arsenal and Spurs, like, we've chucked the league away in the last 2 league games, mate, because we're trying to get Europa League final one.
Yeah.
You look at the games start the season, from October to December, those draws at home, we battered teams.
Yeah.
And just unfortunately didn't come back in there. 2 of those wins into draws, obviously it's a bit different now. Then we're in top 4 and it's a different season.
Yeah.
So I think it's sort of like that. I think it's the media one minute media is saying the team's not good enough, some players not good enough for United, and then they're criticising me for not getting top 4, thinking, well, you can't have it both ways. You can't say these players aren't good enough for Manchester United and then moan about him not getting top 4 because clearly you're saying one thing that players aren't good enough and some players aren't good enough. And we'll get into those in a minute, probably. And then, so I think it's more media. But obviously, there's some United fans, like I said earlier, who are old school United fans who just think United are United. We've got to win every game. We deserve to win every single game.
Yeah.
And there's some United fans who have changed. Think, well, we've lost the best manager in the world, and we assess things where we are. But I think it's definitely more media based. Not saying media bias, but I do think United. You look at, for example, Guardiola. The possibly best manager ever, according to everyone in the media.
Yeah.
He's 4th in the table and with a better squad than United. And is he getting criticism right now? No, he's not. And if he finishes 4th, that's a playoff. We win Europa League, win group stage and 2 trophies. So I think it's more media based, but not in the bias. But I think the media is a bit harsh. But United. We have a saying United fans, well, I don't say it often, but hated a dog but never ignored. No matter what we do, we're headline news. No matter what we do. Yeah. So I think the media definitely been harsh, but they've also got a point a bit as well.
Because I think with the media, obviously, they chase the headline, and it's,
a positive story does not make headlines.
Yeah.
A negative one always does.
Yeah.
If you can sit here and Chelsea win the league, they can talk about all the points they've got, but then you can say, had Costa falls out with player. Oh my God, look at that. Not the Raptors positive stories that there is. So a negative story always catches the eye. It's like the eye in the ointment, the find the ointment thing in it.
Yeah.
It may not be really good, but a little bit of dirt in it. Ooh, no, focus on that. And that's the way the media, unfortunately, works.
Yeah, because they've gone after, obviously media, especially Sky Sports, have gone after Wenger a lot this season, and the bloke has achieved top 4 the entire time he's been there, and it's always been, well, top 4's not good enough. Media have always come back to him and said, your fans don't want top 4, they want to be winning trophies. And according to
him it is a trophy, but
well, that's it.
Statement was hilarious.
But he's now not getting, or potentially won't be getting, top 4, and now the media is saying, if you don't finish in the top 4, it's a season failure. And it's like, well, hang on, you've completely what you're saying there, because Wenger still is in the chance of winning the FA Cup. So
I think
it's very similar to Mourinho. I mean, as I said, he's won 2 trophies, and yet he's under pressure because he's not finishing in this top 4. And top 4 has been created by the media.
Yeah, and like I said, fans have got to get more realistic. I'm not saying don't want top 4. Of course, United fans, listen to this, we want top 4 in Championship. But there's 6 teams that can get in it. 2 of them can't get in it. So get used to it, folks. There's going to be years where you might not be in it. Yeah. And, and before it was more financial thing. Financially, you don't need top 4 financially. You look at the money they make. All right, obviously we're better off financially if we're in it, but you don't need top 4 to keep going. The money we make is insane.
Yeah.
So it's just a prestige thing, and this idea that no top 4 can get top players. Right then, how do all these players? I don't buy it, because some players, yes, that would be a big thing for him. But you're telling me that every single player won't want to join United, City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal because they're not in top 4 on Champions League? No, not every single one. Some might. Clearly, obviously, but look at Liverpool. They signed Suarez. If I remember correctly, I may be wrong here. I don't follow Liverpool because for obvious reasons. They signed Suarez one of their best players in recent years about Chelsea football, and he got them there. So I think the fans need to be more realistic. But yeah, I'll give it up the media though. The media just seem to just be reactive and not be consistent at times. And Wenger is currently copying it quite a lot at the minute.
yeah, exactly. He is, but I think for him that is going to be the case until he makes his decision on what he's doing.
Yeah,
yeah. But anyway, let's move on from Wenger. We're not here to talk about him. So let's have a little bit of a chat about Mourinho. Actually, in general.
Yeah.
Do you think he seems to, do you think he's starting to feel the pressure at Man United as in terms of the size of the club? Do you think he's underestimated it?
I don't think he's underestimated the size of the club. I think what he's been surprised about is the lack of quality and how poor these players are. I remember when we were in the summer, I was talking to my mates, and he signed those 4 players. We said, that ain't enough. We said, that's not enough, mate. Yeah. We were saying it, said, that's not enough, dude. You're gonna find out pretty damn quickly that the defence ain't good enough, and we're lacking in attack, and for very different reasons why we're doing that. And I think he's just been surprised. I think he's frustrated by, especially early in the season, when we just dominated teams, created so many chances, and didn't finish them off. And he's been very surprised by that. I think one of the things we thought United would be fine with is scoring goals. Obviously, Ibra has scored goals. I think it's more frustration, and the fact that he's, and the fact also, the fixture congestion, the fact that he's had a go at the Premier League again, which I think is a fair point for many years. Even besides Ferguson, he was saying, dudes, help us out in Europe. All teams, not just United, all teams need help in Europe. Yeah. But we don't get it. Look at Germany, they help their teams out. Spain help their teams out. We don't do that over here. It's about Sky just run everything. Yeah. So that's frustrating him as well. Obviously, I know it's a lot of games, but it's still, it's a valid point he's making. It's not, you can't use an excuse, but it's a valid point. I think it's just more frustration he's dealing with. But I think now he's had a year. He knows the player's not good enough. He's kicked some out already, which is good. And he needs to get some more out as well. I think that's the main issue for him: frustration, and he's been surprised by the fact that some of these players are not good enough. And there's like 4 or 5 that I definitely think should be. Well,
let's move on to that. Who's on your wish list to get out of the club?
Rooney's one.
Really?
Yeah. And it's not this because he's not contributing in games. I said for not just this season, for a couple of years, I don't think he's been anywhere near the level he should be. I said to my mate over there, my mate loves Rooney. I said to him, all right, sit down with him. I sat down with him over there. I said, right, when was the last time you watched a United game last 2 years and you said to yourself, oh my God, Rooney ran that game was brilliant. And he said, I can name one. I said, one game in 2 years. That ain't good enough for Wayne Rooney. Fellaini's another one, but shouldn't be signed in the first place. He should be out the door. I think he's not a United player. It was Moyes just panicked and got something he knew, which is fair enough. Moyes just panicked and he knew him. I know how he plays, fair enough. And try to make him the next 4 goals. Yeah, that can happen. Darmian, don't think he's good enough. He's been poor since the Sanchez game when Sanchez destroyed him. The 2 centre-backs, Jones and Smalling. Smalling, not good enough in terms of quality. Jones, when he's fit and on 100%, he's a good defender, but too injury prone. And I do feel like we need to look at seriously Ashley Young and Martial as well and say, right, Young, he doesn't play left wing anymore. He's back up left back. And Martial, I'm not saying he's not good enough, but we need to have a word and say you need to book your slight attitude out because he's brilliant 1 minute and shocking the next. So there's a few players there, obviously with short and strikers anyway. So those are the ones I would say are not good enough. And you look at the team, essentially Carragher getting old as well. So he's going to injure everything in his career. Rooney is done, and the 2 centre-backs. So the spine of the team is not right yet, in my opinion, which is scary.
That's massive.
Yeah, it is. And what I would say is, people say about the money spent. Yeah, but you look at people say, "Oh, sorry, Ferguson won't make." Yeah, but that's right, Ferguson. That is arguably the greatest manager ever, and you can't deny it. He's one of the greatest ever. So yeah, right, he may have won it, but he's not. No one's as good as him. Ask Jose Mourinho what he calls him. He calls him the boss. He calls Schweiz the boss. That says it all. And you look at, and I always say, the Jones is good. Really, is he good as Rio Ferdinand? And say, no, right, ain't good enough then. I don't want United for years buying players they're okay. No. We want top players, not players that they're good enough for United. They'll do all right. No, not good enough. I'm not good, not just good. No, they're all right, not just good enough. I want players who are better than way better than what we've already got, and that's where Pogba comes in, Ibra's come in, Mkhitaryan was more of an extra player that came in, and we need, and Bailly been a brilliant centre back. I had one mistake in the semi-final. So that's what I think we need to do, and that's what I hope he does in the summer.
So, because I want to counteract some of this, because for me, what Rooney has done for Man United and for England, it's difficult because I don't watch the games in and out. I don't see, I don't pay too much attention to the full ins and outs and the stats and whatnot. But is Rooney now not adjusting himself to be that centre midfielder? Is he, he's not going to be the goal scoring player that we once knew and loved. Is he now not going to make himself, what all those attributes he made himself to be good at as a striker in the midfield role? Is he performing well? Is he not performing well as a centre midfielder? Because that's where you've got to truly judge him on now.
Yeah, the problem with Rooney is that Rooney won't play in centre midfield. He said he won't, because I look at him in midfield thinking, can you do anything extra that Pogba does? No. Can he get on the pitch like Herrera can? No. Is he as good a passer as Carrick is in terms of reading the game and playing good and running a match? Probably not. Maybe not far off. Maybe not far off. But I look at Rooney thinking, if he's not setting the field, does he offer anything different than the players we've got in there? And I'm like, not really. And Rooney, the problem with Rooney is there's a lot of sentimentality about him because he's a legend at the club, top goal scorer all time, England's goal scorer as well. But what my question now is, he's done all that, but we're not about that. We're about now, right now, in the future, when we're moving this side forward, is he going to be a main player? And unfortunately, I don't think he will be.
No.
Because I feel like United, with the money they've got and the pool they've got, we can get certain midfielders that can do what he does. Now, the experience, you can't buy that experience.
No.
But I do feel like the time has come for him to leave. I don't have any feeling towards him. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He's been a brilliant player. I loved him when he signed for recent years. But now there's always a time when it's time to move players on. Fergie did it loads of times. You can go Van Nistelrooy, Keane, not Ronaldo, because now he didn't want him to go. But Ferdinand, Stam, you name him. Him. He's moved them on and said it's time to go. We're done.
Yeah.
And you look at people like, I know people say his age and Giggs still playing. But Giggs and Scholes are still top level players and they're still playing amazingly well. Really doesn't do that anymore. Now, part of that issue is that I think he's physically his body's shot. He's played every game practically a season since he was 17 years old.
Yeah.
And he's been forced back for England when he's not been fully fit. He's been lambasted for it as well. So his body is shot, and I watch him play. I'm like, I watched him play over the week. I was angry about him on Twitter, but I thought it's so sad to see him playing like this because I don't want to see that.
He doesn't deserve it. Yeah.
I don't want to see a Wayne Rooney, half the player he was, walking around hitting shots from long range, 4 in a game over bar. It's sad to see, and obviously you don't want. I think it's like every time they say Rooney, being a legend at the club, but we need to move forward. The club's bigger than one player, and it's time to move on. And bring a youth player in. Bring a youth player in like Twinzaby or Mensah or Gribbin or Pereira, something like that, or what I think they'll do, blow money at the problem again. And bring a fresh team, maybe a fresh play. Who's to say that? Who's to say Gribbin can come in and be the next Wayne Rooney? Probably won't be like, but it could be.
Yeah.
It's a toss of a coin. Look at Rashford. Give him a chance. Look at him now. Could be an amazing player if he keeps playing like he is.
Yeah.
So I think it's sad that it's come to this, but there's a time for every player, and I think the time is now for Rooney.
So where, if he does leave, what sort of level do you think he should be playing at? Is there do you think he's still capable of it in the Premier League? Do you think now's the time for him to start moving abroad? Where would you see his ideal move for him?
I think he would go back to Everton ideally, because I think there's a theory going around. He wants to play one more World Cup.
Yeah.
If he goes to MLS, he won't play in the World Cup, I don't think. No. Beckham did it. Beckham, was a one-off maybe.
Yeah.
I think he's still a Premier League player, maybe like an Everton, which is shocking. I think he would best going to America because he's done his time in the Premier League. He's been Everton and obviously got bought by United. Won everything he can do at United. MLS is time to go. The problem is, like I said, is the World Cup in Russia is on the horizon, and I think he deserves one more World Cup at least for England. You know, depends on how guys like it thinks. So it's difficult. Where I think he should go is MLS because I feel like I don't think Everton would really want him. I don't know. I don't know what Everton fans think. What Everton's plan is going forward.
Yeah.
But I do feel like the MLS is the option for him now. But the World Cup is a bit of an issue. So you've got two choices. If you sit on the bench at United, or you take a massive cut and go to a lower Premier League side, that's what I think is going to happen in the summer. But who knows? He may keep him. Hey, I would love to sit here in a year's time thinking, Rooney's been brilliant this season. Off the bench, run games, got vital goals. But at the moment, I just don't see it happening.
I think for me, the role that he's now got to play is kind of like the Park Ji-sung. He comes in for the important games where he knows what he has to do. He can control that midfield. He runs around. He puts his socks. You know, he proper makes those challenges, and we all know that he can make. Yeah. I still think he's got a role. Yeah, I still think he's got a role, but he's just not in that Wayne Rooney that we know.
If you make the first 11, he's not in it. That's the thing. And the problem with Rooney is that if he misses 2 games, his fitness goes down the pan.
Yeah.
And you see it, and that's the issue. You see Giggs and Scholes, they missed 3 games, they came back in, they were fine. With Rooney, I don't think he could do that.
Yeah.
I don't think he could say, right, you go miss 2 games and come back in for the Arsenal game away. It wouldn't be the same sharpness and you'd lose a bit. So that's the problem with Rooney. But it's always been that way. Fergie said, see, he's out for 2 months. He's round as a ball.
Yeah.
That's not because he's lazy. That's the way he is. That's his body. His body works that way. Yeah. So it's difficult. It's difficult for Mourinho. I think Mourinho would keep him around, but he'll say to him, look, you're not going to play for me. You're going to be on the bench and maybe come in occasionally here and there. Is that good enough for you?
Yeah.
And it's really interesting conversation. But I think for me personally, Rooney should go somewhere he can keep playing football while he can. While he can play, keep playing.
Yeah. And one of the other players you mentioned, because I would normally talk about Martial, but the one player I want to talk about, because you mentioned him just a moment ago, is Chris Smalling. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, from an England point of view, I want Chris Smalling at Man United. Yeah. Because the better level of football that he can play at, the better level he will be at England. And when you see him, he is always the first name on the team sheet for England. In terms of a central defender, I think it'll be him and Cahill. I don't,
Yeah, I think you could. I can't see anybody else really, can you really?
But so why is, if he's good enough for England, why is he not good enough for Man United? Is it the injury problems, like similar to Phil Jones, or is he just not capable?
I think of that for me, level? It's not so much injuries. He's not a few injuries here and there, but not to level up Jones has had, I don't think. I mean, obviously you could look at the stats and make them be different. But when I watch Smalling play, he's not convincing for United. And the problem with Smalling is people say to me a lot, he's a good defender, but not good ball at his feet. Well, that's an issue because at United, most teams we dominate the ball against.
Yeah.
So distribution of the ball is kind of key. And when I watch him play, I think he could be brilliant, but next minute he could be Ricky and make a massive mistake. Look at the Middlesbrough game. He kicks it with his wrong foot. He's not convincing enough for me. And I always say that, like I said earlier, I said, he's a good defender, yeah, but is he a quality defender? Is he a defender that would he get in most top sides in Europe, which United should be aiming for? Not saying we're there. That's what we're aiming for. Would he be getting in the top sides in Europe? No, he wouldn't. England, best defender we've got for England, and that's fine. That's not a criticism of England. That's like, he's a best defender. That's fair because you've got less pool of players to pick from. But United have a massive pool of players to pick from. And thinking, could he find better than Smalling? Probably yes. And I think he just doesn't convince me. I'm not saying I want him at the club, but in terms of if you were to keep him, not a regular player. Someone who comes in when we get injuries and we need him, not a regular starter for United, in my opinion. So he doesn't convince me.
That seems to be, obviously you've got star players like Zlatan and Rashford, Herrera, but there are a lot of what you would call squad players.
Mm-hmm. And the The problem is they are regular starters.
Yeah.
That is the problem. Darmian, Blind is. I look at Blind and think he's great at the back, but he's a CM in my opinion. Who's playing there? Fellaini, Young, Martial, who again has his moments, but then can go quiet a little bit. Yeah. You look at people like Luke Shaw, again, injury issue, hopefully he gets over that. There's Rojo, Jones, Smalling, Blind, Darmian, that's the back four.
It goes on and on.
That's the back four. Herrera, he's Herrera and Lingard's another one of Lingard. Herrera is a quality player. Lingard is essentially a Jason Park who will come in and do a job for you.
Yeah.
It's Lingard, chase that player. He'll say how long for the whole game. I'll do it. He'll just do it. Yeah. He's not this because he's English. You see, he gets a lot of he's a great player. No, he's not. If he was called Sanchez or something, you'd be slaughtering him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the problem. Because he's English, we defend him to it. That's the problem with Rooney, you see. Rooney gets a lot of defence because he's English. If he was like a foreign, if he was Ozil, he'd be getting slaughtered right now, Rooney, and everywhere.
Yeah.
So there's too many players at United who are squad players who could, still stay around, but as going to big games and trying to win titles, they're not good enough. And that's where I think Smalling fits in to that category, in my opinion.
So, in terms of what can be done, going forward now, obviously we don't know whether or not the Champions League is going to be sealed. We're yet to find that out in terms of the Europa League, etc. But how many players or what positions do you think need to be sorted to get you up to the next level? Because I think eventually the attacking players that you've got, if you can get Zlatan back up to any sort of fitness that he was at last year, if you've got Rashford, if you've got Martial when he actually finally understands what Mourinho wants from him, if you've got Mata, if you've got Lingard, if you've got Herrera, the attacking side of it will come through.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
But defensively, again, you look at the Premier League table and your defensive record is absolutely unbelievably good.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? You see, this is when it gets quite difficult. And this is when non-United fans look at the stats. There's nothing wrong there. Moves just crap. But then you look at the players. For me, you said when you strengthen centre back. Need it. I don't mean a young age. Somebody who is a leader. Who can, when we United consider goals, say, "Come on, get your ass together. Let's get this defence sorted out. Ride this out. Right then, let's go. We held them back for 10 minutes. Let's go and get this goal now. We haven't got that in defence. No, we haven't got it.
No.
That old school Rio, Vidic, Terry, Carragher. We consider goals. Like, come on, lads. Get together. We're struggling here. Let's just band together. Let's just hold tight for a few minutes. Let's get going.
Let me just pause you on that. John Terry's now available. Would you go get him? He's the type of man you're describing.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of. I don't personally think it would happen, but if it came in, I would say I can see where it's coming from. I can see the reason bringing him in, but my issue would be is
how much he loves Chelsea.
Yeah, exactly, and it's also like it does seem like Mourinho had issues with him in the Chelsea period when he left. So we need someone like that, but would John Terry?
You need him, but not him.
if he came in, I wouldn't be cutting my wrists over it. I get it. He's experienced defender. He's won the Premier League title. We need that, but I just don't think he fits Mourinho what he was looking for. But we need a centre back definitely, like I said.
Okay, so we might need
a full back, ideally, but not critical.
Okay.
Ideally a full back. We need a centre midfielder to replace Carrick, definitely, long term. And the strikers, not the forwards, strikers.
Yeah.
It all depends on Ibra. If Ibra's going to come back in around November, October-ish, which they're saying he might, who knows? With him, he's a freaking nature. It could be. I won't be surprised, right? He walked out in the big final. Knowing him, he won't, like, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So if he's cropped long term and he can't come back till January, let him go. Get two strikers in, who are natural finishers. If he's staying around, we need one.
So would you not then want to build your team around Rashford in that case? Make him the number one striker? Or do you think that's just putting too much on him at one go?
I think what we need, I've always said United strikers, it's just so Ibra was fully fit, right? And he's completely fine next season. We've got the young talent in Rashford who's going to be incredible striker. Whatever they'll get to, I don't know. Who knows? Yeah. He might become the next, Wayne Rooney, who blitzes the corner. He might just be that player who comes in, gets 15 goal season. That's still good.
Yeah.
You've got the experienced legend who's the cockiest fuck on the planet, Ibrahimovic. He's so cocky, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But he's 35. We need that somebody who's like the mid-20s, who's between the two of them, who's just a goal machine.
Yeah.
We had one, but we had one who was Mexican, but Van Gaal sold him. Yeah. Who would come on and get you goals. It was a natural. From a United forwards is too many of them want the ball to feet and come deep for it. No one wants to say, I'm going to sit here and wait for the ball and score. Yeah. Like Van Nistelrooy used to do. Like Owen sort of did when he ran in behind. Like Hernandez used to do. We need somebody to say, I'm going to sit here, you guys do what you do, I'll wait for the ball in box and I'll knock it back at net. We haven't got that. Mira said it before, we've got no killers in front of goal. And we need a killer in front of goal. This is, I'm going to sit here and score goals.
So we've got four positions. We've got a centre-back, a full-back, a midfielder and a striker.
Definitely, yeah. And I think, but I got a sneaky feeling more than that. Based on what I've heard from people who I talk to on Twitter who claim but they're not always right. But it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot more than 4 coming in, and a lot more going out as well.
Because one of those, obviously, that's linked every single summer is David De Gea. Mm-hmm. If he left, do you have a goalkeeper in mind as to who you would like? I mean,
Oblak.
Really? I'd go for somebody like Jordan Pickford.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I said I did a bit on stream. I said that's what I think United will get or go to get. I would love United to bring an English goalkeeper who's brilliant, but I don't think United would do that.
No,
that's my opinion. I don't think United would do that. I think United would rather go buy a younger foreign goalkeeper than buy an English young goalkeeper, like when Van der Sar left.
Yeah.
Who did they buy? De Gea. I would love to get Pickford in the team or Butland. I'd love it. I think
that's a good shout. That's a good shout.
Butland would be a good goalkeeper. He got injured recently, but I think he's fine now.
Yeah.
And Romero's not bad either, but he's in a good number one. I have doubts over that long term, but I would love United. I'd love United to go out and buy all English players and win the league.
Yeah.
But that's not what's going to happen. It won't ever happen.
Yeah.
No top 4 side will go and buy English players in the summer. It won't. It doesn't happen. There's always these 2 or 3 foreigners in there because, like you said earlier, they don't get time. They haven't got time to. And plus, the markup is insane anyway. Butland would cost what, 30 million? You're probably talking minimum. Pickford probably about the same. They've got relegated. They probably demand to be free for him as well.
Well, I mean, I think Moyes came out today and said that he would only be accepting bids for 30 million for Pickford anyway. And when you think you could get the other lad Oblak for probably half the price, in Mourinho's mind, it's not going to be. He's going to spend the cheaper option, isn't he?
And that's the thing about United. You see, they've got a big pool. From the teams like Stoke and Everton, lesser pool, English players, they can get them. United have got a massive pool. If they've got a keeper there, who's English player, who's like 40 million, and a foreigner for 20 million pounds, as good as potential and good as quality, who are you going to go for?
Yeah.
20 million guy, aren't you? I would love United to get Butland or Pickford in there. I'd love to see an English goalkeeper at United be successful. But I just don't think that's where they're going to do it. I think they'll go for Oblak, Donnarumma, or Handanovic, something like that. That's what I think they'll do.
Yeah.
That's what I think they will do. Not happy with that. I don't like United buying foreign players, but in a day, ask any fan, if we win the Champions League, or anything like that, or something like that, are you going to sit there and say, oh, we won the Champions League, too many foreign players? You're bloody not. You're not. No fan's going to do it. They're going to, at the time, you go, oh, I guess we won Champions League. And I'm going to go, hang on, mate, only 2 English players. Doesn't matter. If you're successful, it doesn't matter. When you're not successful, then people start saying things like that, getting more English players in. But United will go for an experienced foreign goalkeeper. That's my opinion. I love to English goalkeepers in the net, but I don't think they'll go that way.
So the other positions you pick then, is there any names you've got in mind as to what type of player, the type of character you want to sign? Or
we look at strikers. I would love Griezmann. And that's been before he was linked with us. I've looked him for many years. I watched him a lot.
Yeah.
Griezmann's the guy I would like to get in. Belotti would be a good, again, if you can't get Griezmann, would be a good striker to get in. And the second midfielder, we recently got linked with Nangolan, which I don't think will happen, but he's the kind of midfielder I'd like to see, or Bakayoko.
Yeah.
Be a good signing. But again, Monaco probably bring your bank account trying to get him out of there.
Yeah.
For the centre-back, I'll defer to Mourinho on that one, because I watch centre-backs a lot, and I can't. One of the things I'm really poor at myself is judging defensive players.
Yeah.
I can judge the attacking player quite well, but defensively, Lindelof been linked with us, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think we need somebody in that back four who is a leader.
Yeah.
Who's better than what we've got, and that should be hard to find. Look at Bailly. He brought Bailly in, he's been successful. So defensively, I'll let Mourinho judge on that. I think he's a centre back, but I think it'd be easy to get a top class centre back if we could translate football. If we get that, it'd be easier. The rest of them, you can maybe just if you lose a big final, you can go around and maybe find players who are equally as good and bring them in. But there's a lot of players in United. More and last month, I think they said like 50 players in United, 50 players.
Yeah.
And we can't sign them all. We're very rich.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We can't sign them all. We can't.
Yeah. So, looking forward then to the Europa League final, how big a game is this? In terms of going forward and what happens next season, because Mourinho has done the typical Mourinho thing and said, well, if we don't win it, I'm still happy that we've got to the final. I'm still happy with what we've done with the games and the resources that we've had, etc., etc. He's come out and done the typical Mourinho thing. But really, how big is this game? Do you think it's massive, or are you kind of in the Mourinho mindset of it's not the be-all and end-all?
I'm kind of in between. A lot of people were saying that this cup final is the biggest system, and it's just get lost. Nowhere near. But I do feel like it's critical in terms of which way we go in the summer. If we win the final, then wow, if we win this challenge, if we win the big final, folks, I'm telling you right now, Mourinho is gonna dismantle this squad like a wrecking ball and bring in amazing players. Who will bring in? Ask Jose. If we win the final, the summer's gonna be really fun because it'll be very quick, very impressive, and a massive outlay of money. Guarantee it, because obviously Chelsea football, Mourinho, Manchester United, the three together will be quite an interesting process for a lot of players.
Yeah.
All these players now are saying, who don't know, oh God, Mourinho's there, Manchester United, Chelsea football, Premier League, I'll have some of that, definitely. Yeah. So, but I do also think that if we lose the final, it won't change the outgoings because I think certain players you don't trust. So it's a big game. But it's not critical for Manchester United's future in 10, 20 years' time, but it will dictate what he does with the squad. It may, if we lost the final, for example, he may wait for Ibra to come back and say, Ibra, you stay if you want to stay. But then it's going to be interesting to see because right now it's all who do you want to sign, who can we sign. We won't know until the final result comes through.
Yeah.
And then it's a big game in terms of which direction we go in the summer and and how things go from there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a bit of a. I want to commit one way or other, but it's hard to say until the final comes in what the future's going to hold for United.
Yeah.
But I think it's the biggest game we've had in this United managerial career so far.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think he'll win it because Mourinho wins finals, doesn't he? He wins finals. And
he knows how to play the occasion.
Yeah, he knows how to do it. He knows how to do it. He's been playing for months. I think he'll win it. I'm not saying we're going to walk in there and blitz and we're not going to do that. But I think we'll win it. But it may go right down to the wire as United usually do.
Yeah, because I think you look at that Ajax team, and although they haven't won the league, you know, over in Holland, they've got such an exciting few years ahead of them. With the talent that they've got in that team and how young it is. It's been well publicised on social media about the average age of the squad and everything, and the first time that it's had an average age of under 21 for ever.
Well, it's just Van Gaal there probably, and way back then probably. I'd imagine. And I think it's a cup final. it means nothing about form and plays. United could go then knock 4 in the first 20 minutes. It could happen.
Yeah.
Or United could fall apart. A cup final, it's like a derby. You can't predict them.
No.
You know, that Southampton game, we should have lost that final. And yet, but I think what I would say about the final is, I think Ajax got a better team together at the moment in terms of like how they play. They're more together. United have got a mismatch of 3 managers' teams in one, but they've got the better kind of team togetherness. You know, so that the very well drilled as a team because they've obviously been together. You know, longer. But United have got the better individual quality. And we could play. It could be 0-0. Been playing crap, and then Pogba goes, boom, goal, game 1, off we go. That could, you know, that could literally be it, couldn't it? Like Pogba can go, I'm bored, I'm going to score a goal, boom, game over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally, we could just do that. Like Ibrahimovic in the final, just scores 2 goals out of nothing, boom, won the final.
Yeah.
It could be literally like that. That's what. It's going to be a team versus a Galactico Stars, and I think it's going to be interesting to see what team he goes with, especially with no Barry in the team.
Yeah. So score prediction. What
hang on. Depends what United lineup we go with. I'm going to go with 2-0 United. Rashford to get the winner.
Okay. 2-0.
But again, like I said, United this season, Champions United is like trying to beat the weather. It's very difficult.
Yeah, it's. I'm gonna go 1-1 with Man United to win it in extra time. I just think that I heard a very, very good comment, earlier on today, where I heard somebody say that at the crucial points in the game where that young Ajax team look around for someone to guide them and someone to lead them, there's not going to be anybody there.
I think the critical thing would be if United get the first goal and start really well and get the first goal in like the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
United, if I was me, I'd say to him, go for the kill him.
Yeah.
If we get 2 goals up, it's over because So I think United has got to be what they haven't been all season, clinical. If we get a goal, say right, go again, kill him, kill the game off, get the second one, and then you can start, keeping the ball moving around. But I think United players will be ready for it. Matt have been back's a big boost.
Yeah.
Matt being back now playing football is a big boost for the final because I thought he'd be back like maybe for the Palace game, first game back, and then struggling. But now he's been back a few weeks, so that's critical. I think Ajax will put a performance in, of course, with the young players. But the critical one, like you said, if United play like they can, which they like they did earlier in the season, there were too much for them, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I want an English team to win it. I want more English representatives in the Champions League because from a purely selfish point of view, I want as many English players as I possibly can get playing so it helps the national team out. So I'm rooting for Man United.
Can you imagine if Rashford got the winning goal in the European Cup final? The confidence that would give him going into England games.
Yeah.
Which I've kind of thought of England recently because they're sick up so many times. I mean, that's again with the last straw for me. But you're kidding me, right? You're kidding me. I mean, listen to someone like maybe like Holland or but Iceland, really, England?
Yeah, that was a killer.
It's going to be a season where I basically don't watch the qualifiers anymore. I think I can't be bothered watching England qualify because they're never going to win them. But yeah, I think for English side, the problem is that your reaction there to wanting United to win the game, I think it's going to be a minority.
Because
everyone's used to I don't sit there and say, "Come on, Liverpool beat Ajax." No, I want to lose because I hate Liverpool. But I think it's going to be someone put on Twitter the other day. I can't remember who put it on. It says basically next week we Manchester United versus the rest of the world.
Yeah,
because the most of them say, "Come on, lose."
I look at football from a bigger picture. I look at it from what could happen if X, Y, Z I look at it from that point, and as I said, from an England point of view, I want to see England win something in my lifetime. So the more the benefits of winning a trophy for somebody like Rashford and for other players in there like the Smallings and all that kind of stuff like that, if those guys are getting that type of experience, then when it comes to the tournaments, they'll be better off, and that's where I'm at.
I think the problem if you ask a Chelsea fan, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, City, Liverpool, United fan about supporting other teams in Europe. They won't, because most of the teams in Europe with them are their rivals.
Yeah.
So you got to put it, when I say they want Liverpool to lose, not because I don't want United to win, but because I don't like Liverpool.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So it's like, so that's where it comes from. So you're supporting your side. No, it's not. We don't want your side to win. So we want them to win.
Yeah.
That's most of that. So yeah, I think it's a big game. I think United will win it, but the performance will be a toss of a coin.
Yeah. Yeah. That's.
But Rashford will start, and I think he'll play well. He always does.
Yeah.
Puts a shift in.
Fantastic, mate. I've absolutely loved having you on. I've loved chatting about this. It's as I said, I look at these types of subjects and these type of clubs with, that look at, you get that look in your eye and you just think, God, I wish I had that. I wish I had that team. Being a Norwich fan, it's incredibly.
That's what I said this on Twitter before. I said, for example, and it was a fair comparison. I think, like it said, us not getting top 4 is like another side getting relegated. Not because I think relegation is getting worse. We will get relegated. So the worst for us is not getting top 4, which is, that's not a big issue really, is it? Because the scheme of teams go bust, for example.
Yeah.
But so when I watch other teams, I'm thinking, you've been sat there watching all of them for 20 years and not seen a single trophy. Jeez. Yeah. and I'm here moaning about getting top 4. So, but yeah, I think I agree with what you said there. I totally agree. Yeah, I'm very fortunate to have supported a team that I love. Not because they win things. I started supporting for the people start saying Bowen supporter. I started supporting them because I saw David Beckham play. I love David Beckham. Yeah. I will sit here right now and say a statement. For me, the best player of all time is Beckham. And I'll get abused for that. Wow. But for me, he is. For me, because he is.
Do you know, I've agreed with you on most things tonight, but I cannot agree with you on that. The best player in the world is Wes Hoolahan, and I'm leaving it at that. I'm leaving it at that.
That's what I mean. And just a side step here towards the old debate of who's better, him or him. We all know who him or him are. Those two, the two we all know about. Can we just sit there and just say, wow, I am 20 odd years old, and I'm seeing these two in their prime.
Yeah.
Just say, if I had kids, I'd say, see Mr. Ronaldo, you like them? Yeah. I saw them live.
Yeah.
I saw them both live, and they were amazing. Yeah. And and there's no right answer. And for me, I said, I'll sit in. People can sit in and say, Messi got this amount of goals. Now I've got this amount. Beckham's the best.
Yeah.
Beckham's and same for you. Where's the other hand? He's best for you.
I think for me, I want to go and see. I want to go see Ronaldo and Messi now, because when I first saw Ronaldo when he came down to Carroll Road, he was the scrawny little 18, 19-year-old that was getting barged off the ball and not at his prime. And I remember thinking, well, he's nothing that great. I was so fascinated with Rooney. I was just like, this guy is quality.
Rooney was at his peak then, or getting very close to his peak at that time.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate that I've seen Neymar at Old Trafford at the Olympics. Recently, I've seen Messi when he first came to the Barcelona team, and also when he became the main player. I saw Ronaldo. I've seen Ibrahimovic. I've seen Henry. I've seen Shearer. So I can just sit here and say the players I've seen. Wow, look at the players I've seen. Kaká. The players I've seen. Jeez.
Yeah. Let's finish on this one then. Obviously, let's put Beckham to one side for a moment.
Yeah.
Who is the best player you've seen live?
Best player I've seen live.
Not as in I've seen Messi and as in on the day. Who was the or who is the best player that you've seen on their day?
Scholes.
Yeah.
Paul Scholes. Because I've seen Beckham live, but when he was like he's 35 and going in friendlies. But Paul Scholes would run. I love a passing midfielder who runs a game. The thing about him was his impact. United could be losing a game or drawing a game or struggling to hold the ball. He walks on, game's under control.
Yeah.
Just him being on the pitch. And my dad says, I pretty hate Paul Scholes. I said, why? he can't get the bloody ball off him.
Yeah.
And Paul Scholes, consistency, changing the game, longevity. He was the best for me.
Yeah.
So Paul Scholes.
Yeah.
Because I've seen him live. Beckham would probably be up there if I'd seen him live when I was younger, but I didn't get to see United when he was there much. I mean, I started going to United after he left.
Right.
Going to games because I couldn't get to the games, enough to see him. And when I did go to see him play for United, it was like maybe twice. So it's not. I've seen Scholes more. So Paul Scholes for me.
Yeah. I think we'll leave it on that.
Yeah.
I think we'll leave it on Scholesy. There's not very many. There's not many better players you can leave a podcast note on than Paul Scholes. Thank you very much for coming on. I've had a great time.
Yeah.
I really, really appreciate it. If you guys have enjoyed this, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for future podcasts where I don't really know if we can top Man United. I don't need to get a Real Madrid fan on or something, to be honest. I can't.
Yeah, we did be a very fun conversation.
Yeah.
A very interesting conversation if I'm a Madrid fan. I'm sure there's a fan here in England who supports Real Madrid. I'm sure there is.
Probably.
I'm sure there is. He's got to find him.
But thank you very much for coming on, mate. It's much appreciated. And as always on the channel, until we see each other next time, adios.